Tonight, we are celebrating the brilliant young minds that are making their mark in the world. This is DXB Today.
Welcome to one and all to yet another edition of this DXB Today. Now, tonight is all about the young Einsteins. No, the young entrepreneurs, as we find out what it takes to start a business in the early years of one's life.
That is right. We will be exploring everything from innovative startups to inspiring social enterprises. We will be looking at the remarkable stories of brilliant entrepreneurs who prove that age is no barrier.
It's absolutely not. Tom is sitting right here, and we also delve into the role of educators, which are uncovering how mentorship, guidance and unwavering belief in students can really help them unlock their potential. I think this is such a great topic, and I cannot wait to get into this with you both and the experts that we have on the panel. But it kind of takes me back to my student days as well. Yeah. A long time for you to look back to, Tom.
Twice.
So
two strikes already.
I've got them out the way.
And we are less than 2 minutes into the show.
They're out of the way now, okay? I won't do any more.
Just because the word young is in the title of the show does not mean this is 60 minutes of have a go at Tom, all right?
I think you're still young, Mr. Urquhart.
Oh, that's very kind to it. Anyway, let's get into this concept.
But it does make me look back. Student years, you know, how minded or how focused was I on the entrepreneurial side of things? Dura, was that something you were focused on?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wish it was like harnessed back in the day, you know. I had an amazing teacher, and schools, like, they really do provide a platform to unlock everything from students, and I feel like Dubai does a brilliant job. So, yeah. I wish it was there in my day.
No, I mean, I'm going to fess up, if that's all right.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit worried about the next 60 minutes or so, just because it is going to be one of those ones going... It's almost going to be like a sort of episode of Tom's report card of could have done better.
Yeah. It's going to be written all over your face.
I'm going to feel it incy-wincy bit small here, going, maybe I sort of let myself down a little bit in the past. You know?
I think I'm there with you, actually. I think this is really going to shed a light on how much of a failure I was as a student. But you know what? I like the activities that we're going to be talking about and the initiatives that take place right here in the city that help students, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's not just us three that is going to be guiding you through this. We've also got those that have been there, done that, albeit in their young years, that is. Time now for us to unveil to you our special guest co-host for tonight's show.
Hi, my name is Vishal Raj Menon. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Fireflies Middle East. I'm super excited for the show today.
As are we, Vishal. And Vishal will be joining us momentarily to tell us more about his business ventures and how he trained himself in the business mindset. But before we do all that, we get into our business mindset for today. The crew went down to Canine Friends right here in Dubai, an adoption shelter pioneering the rescue of stray dogs for many, many years. Let's take a look.
Hello, my name's Helen. Welcome to Canine Friends. Hi, I'm Sudhi Malaukar. I started volunteering at Canine Friends because I love animals and I wanted to do something for the community in Dubai. Hello, my name's Helen. I first came to Canine Friends to foster a dog. I just fell in love with the organisation and then I started volunteering here. We have 120 dogs at Canine Friends. We can only accept a new dog in when we've homed a dog. When a dog arrives at Canine Friends, we health check the dog, we vaccinate the dog. We give the dog a safe place to stay. We feed the dog, we make sure they're cared for until a loving new home can be found.
So the best thing about adopting a puppy is they grow up with your family and you're able to train them the way you want to. So when you adopt young, they're with you for at least 15 years and that's always great. Having said that, even the older dogs are lovely because they come in with slight knowledge of how to maybe sit or stay. And those dogs are easier to home sometimes because they already know how to socialize with the family.
We have a team of about 50 volunteers who rotate between the office and the kennels, and any member of the public who is a resident of UAE can be part of our team.
If you would like to adopt a dog, please call our office. They will arrange an appointment time for you and your family to come in. Once you're here at Canine Friends, you will meet with our homing team. They will select suitable matches for you, and if you fall in love, you can leave with the dog that day.
Just an absolute institution here in Dubai. I absolutely love Canine Friends. But today's episode is all about young entrepreneurs, and we are joined by our guest co-host, Vishal Rajmanan. Vishal, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
So excited for you to be here because our story is interesting. I met you a long time ago when I came to do a talk at your college. And now, all these years later, you are this incredibly powerful entrepreneur. Now, what you do with Fireflies, we're going to get into, but first I would like to ask you, where did the entrepreneurship spirit come from?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think the entrepreneurial spirit was in me since a young age. Like, I started in school. This was back in middle school. I knew that I wanted to start something when I was young, when I grew up in university. And eventually, when I graduated, my co-founders, Jonathan and Samir, the three of us started just, regular kids who were trying to make extra cash. We started with events, your freshman parties, your, high school proms. And then eventually from events, we started looking at, different avenues where we can make that extra money and build a brand. And then we haven't looked back since then. It's been a great journey. Yeah.
Question to you, Vish, just because you touched on there, like many kids, they're looking to make a bit of extra cash, etc. And we were all going back to our youth there and what we did and how we set out.
Yeah.
Is it your understanding? I mean, a lot of people talk about the younger generations and how they are more entrepreneurial because they've got access to great social media and great tools to help push it forward.
Yeah.
Or is it to do with geography? So the question is it generational or is it geography driven?
I think it's a mix of both. I think the environment here in UAE especially is something that's quite inspiring because the city in itself is quite inspiring.
Yeah.
Like you see Dubai doing a lot of cool things and you want to be a part of that story. But it just comes down to passion, I think, mostly. It comes down to what the students are interested in. And we always say that we notice students taking up things that they're most passionate about and starting businesses in the things that they're most passionate about. So I think it's a mix of both, definitely. Yeah.
So Vishal, you actually run Fireflies, a Gen Z-led marketing agency. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so funnily enough, we pivoted to Gen Z marketing right during COVID. So we had, events that was a focus, and obviously that was, we had to pivot from that for obvious reasons. But yeah, we work with a lot of brands to help them understand Gen Z because obviously they're a very different generation to the rest. They're very tech-oriented. They have access to information like never before. And we started to notice that in Middle East and Dubai especially, there was a gap between how brands were trying to talk to Gen Z. It was coming off a little cringe. A lot of the Gen Z.
Welcome to my world. Every single day.
Yeah. So it was quite. So we noticed that gap, and we went to brands and told them, who better to help you understand the generation than Gen Z themselves. And we had this huge network of Gen Z creators, schools, universities. We were immersed in that space for so long that we just understood that, if we consulted brands on how they should be thinking when it comes to marketing to this generation, they could sell more, they could have better brand perceptions, and on the other hand, Gen Z benefits from it because they're making more informed decisions about what they're buying. Yes.
So powerful. And I hear you've recently done a TEDx.
Oh, it's been a while, but yeah.
Oh, really? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so TEDx was, obviously it's run by TED. It was by a school in Dubai, and they invited me to do a talk on a topic that was close to my heart, and I called it the Uncle Ben theory, which is to do with Spider-Man and Uncle Ben in Spider-Man. And it talked about how, we all have a responsibility to do something in this world, and that's pretty much it. So it was quite an exciting talk, and yeah.
Surely it's got to be a new generation. Surely it's got to be Ted Z now, isn't it? With the generation going on.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
It totally would. Vishal, lastly, I think what's interesting is you turned from being a student to a mentor educator. You are now making it your passion and your mission to help the younger generation also follow your passion and your route. How has that been, and what is the reaction that you have got so far from those Gen Zers?
Yeah, it's been so exciting, honestly, because the reason why we started that segment of it as well was because we wanted to inspire students to take action when they're young. We made a lot of mistakes in school and university, and we thought to ourselves that if we could go to schools and universities and tell students about, you know, these are things to avoid, these are things that you should focus on, make use of your time when you have the time especially. It's been great, and I think the reception that we have received from the students is incredible because we're just a couple of years older to them, so we relate to them a lot more, and it's been quite exciting. A lot of students, especially from our creator circles, the opportunities we've been able to provide are now celebrities now. They've gone to start on their own businesses, and we mentor them too at this time, so it's been quite exciting.
I love that.
Yeah.
Vishal, that is so powerful. I hope you won't go anywhere. We have so much more to get into it with you. But after the break, we meet a teacher who is also an entrepreneurial mentor for his students. Plus, we meet a Dubai-based 23-year-old Russian expat running an AI property portal that makes over $1 million. Stay tuned. Now, welcome back to the studio. We are joined by an educator who doesn't stop at teaching traditional lessons to students. Please welcome Mr. Vikas Singh, the Director of Center of Excellence for Aviation, Aeronautics and Space at GEMS International School. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your role in this Center of Excellence.
In the Center of Excellence, we have developed 5 different areas for students. Instead of having a traditional design and technology workshop or a digital design, we have for students fashion design, food design, and the last one which you spoke about is about aviation and aeronautics, where students do a pilot program, simulator, they get a certificate later on, and if they want to pursue further, we have a tie-up with Embry-Riddle University, where they get to take 1 year when they're in school itself. So when they go to the college, they only do 3 years program. And I'm also developing now further a space program in school where the students, if Mr. Elon Musk is talking about we going to space, how are we preparing our students for those opportunities which are going to be there in the space, like entertainment, okay, like our pets, ecosystem, our food, how we'll be growing and making those things in the space. So that is the new lab which we are building in. And my main role is to bring change in education. Thank you.
I love that. I love that. And the thing is, Vikas, where does the entrepreneurship side come into that program and into what you're trying to help with these students moving forward?
Very good. So if you see all the pathways which we have designed, they are leading towards the entrepreneurship of the students. So the projects, when they lead, we provide them the skill set first, which is the basic and core needed for any of the entrepreneurship program. And in the later program of grade 9 and 10, we encourage students with the real problems of the world. They look at the market gap. They look at the problem which is not being solved by others. Or the problem is being solved, but it's too expensive. It is not viable for other people to be in that industry. So what we do in the mentorship program, we have started it last year. This is our first year for the competition based, so that, see, all subjects, they have budget. And the entrepreneurship, there was no budget at all. And this is where my role comes in. And this is the first year we started. We have 19 teams across grade 6 to grade 11 who are collaborating and negotiating with each other. And what I look at it from an education perspective is not about the money and entrepreneurship. I look at it, the collaboration, that communication, that negotiation, which happens with the student. It's not about on the surface you're scratching the idea. It's about getting to the root problem and how you're going to solve that problem. So how I see a student in a school learning subjects and just going to the exams. Whereas I see a group of students, they are learning their subjects, but they're applying it in real-world context. They are relating.
So it's the importance of real-life learning.
Yeah.
I'm sure something that you'd agree with.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to see how education is changing and schools are getting involved. But how excited are the students about this initiative?
Our students were super happy because all of these things were not. It's not. They've just started. They've been there for years. Okay, we were giving them projects, but they were only being submitted for submission, assessment. But now they have the opportunity where we will be investing in their ideas. Students will be the stakeholder. For us, it is as good as buying a food for the food design lab. We are investing in the entrepreneurship of students. Success is not what we are looking at. Failure will be there. Okay, and we want the students to learn from those failures and move from there. And what is the next step they need to do? Beyond my mentorship, my colleagues who are helping the students, they all love the idea. It's a different ball game and discussion we are having with the kids in the room.
I wish I had that when I was younger.
Absolutely. You know, can you tell us a little bit about the skills that students develop in these situations, especially learning things like robotics, aviation, space? These are all new concepts, but they're not traditional in the way that they're learned. So what are students gaining from it?
So many of our students are very clear with their pathways, and we have many students who would like to be the pilot, or they're coming from the family of the crew members, and they would like to be in that industry. So that segment is very clear what we have. But we have many inspiring students who would like to be the drone pilots. Okay, students who would like to be in the AI industry, and they want to start from grade 6, 7. So why should we wait this as an ECA program? So we brought this program in school, and later part of the program is where they get into these topics of discussion across different age group, testing the product with the real scenario, real world, real situation. And I will say the key thing which their skill they're developing is they're looking every time at someone is nagging and complaining is an opportunity. How is this problem is an opportunity for me? It can be a simple solution, it can be a complex solution, it can be for noble purpose, it can be for social purpose. But they are understanding, they're not just complaining about things, they are problem solvers.
It reminds me a lot of this, and there's a lot of chat going around at the moment, the traditional sort of university format, and a lot of people say, no, get a trade, you know, work out what you want to do, get that trade, and then you're going to be got a trade for life, etc. I'm just watching what we saw there, very hands-on approach to your teaching as well. And do you get sort of opportunities in the real? Is there support from the private sector here where people can go and get more experience in that field?
Yes, we have successfully tied up with many universities, and I'm really glad the environment that we have in UAE of collaborating with each other. We get professors coming from college, talking to our students, conducting lectures, and every time they leave the campus, they were like, Vikas, you're kind of preparing them for an MIT level. And I'm not bragging about it, but to be honest, I'm making a space lab. And in that space lab, when I met few vendors, they were like, Vikas, are you trying to make MIT in school? I'm like, what is the harm? We are talking about exposure. I heard you earlier talking about the exposure. The amount of exposure we have in this era with the help of technology, and UAE being the resourceful part, and so many people who are happy to help the students, why to wait for next 10 years? We give them what is needed now.
Absolutely.
It's an extraordinary achievement, it's an extraordinary centre of excellence as well. We can't thank you enough for setting up, but also coming down to tell us all about it as well. Best of luck with the new students coming on board this year a little later on. A big thanks to Vikas for joining us. Right, spotlight time now. Today's spotlight is on a 21-year-old entrepreneur who has successfully disrupted the real estate industry right here in the city. Here's our interview with Anastasia Denisova, who is the founder of Realist.
My name is Anastasia, and I'm co-founder at Realist. We invented AI, and we bring this technology to MENA region to disrupt this real estate investment world. We help to our investors to identify the best investment opportunities into the market, and we send to them signals. Where should you sell your properties? We launch in 20 cities around the world, and I'm here to share my experience with you. Real estate investors around the world, they have two biggest challenges. The first, you need to know what is the 1% of all real estate investment opportunities you can have in non-transparent market. And we help with our transparent solution to identify it. And the second challenge, you should know when you need to sell your properties. And we help to you with all accurate information to identify the right time for that. We launched in Dubai half a year ago. Today we earn $1 million a month on that technology and we are profitable. We're supported by many officials here, including C-level position management from real estate developers. When you open new market for your company, you will face with many challenges. Based on our experience, first and the main challenges what we face here is a business model. Because you have a product, you have a vision, but each real estate market is a unique market and it operates different way. we are on the way of being benchmark for all emerging markets in terms of the real estate investments for all institutions around the world. It seems like we are door for all investors around the world to emerging markets. It helps the local government and local players being very successful, and also our investors to have good appreciation here and provide transactions. Dubai for me is a chance, and this is our playground when we test many business models, many ideas here. It's a very good environment to having business here now. It's a good hub for my colleagues and my partners to test crazy ideas here, and absolutely grateful for this experience to Dubai market. I started my day with Maidan and tennis. After, it will be continuing on the palms with my dog and husband during the beach, because not everyone knows, but the beaches of palms, they are open to dogs. And the third is a kind of like, sky view and skyscraper with a nice view and good environment for our family.
Yeah, extraordinary achievements. And again, begs that question, would that have been possible had they not set up that business right here in Dubai, where anything literally seems possible? Right, from Spotlight, and a very, very lucrative spotlight, to today's roundup. I'm sure this one's going to be lucrative as well. What's buzzing in the city? There's only one person out there who's got a finger on the pulse, ain't there, eh? It is, of course, Nimi.
Yeah, of course it is. He knows. Recently, this is incredible, about 400 high school and university students took part in a nationwide contest for young entrepreneurs. Now, the aspiring startup founders showcased their business ideas at the event, which was organised by non-profit group Injaz. Now, some of the award-winning ideas included a company that supports female entrepreneurs and a social media and networking platform for 15 to 21-year-olds. Now, I'm saying that out loud. It is mind-blowing because it really, again, takes me back to my time. And I wonder how important that is, Vishal, to have these movements, these events, these competitions to really raise awareness of how important entrepreneurship spirit is at a young age.
Yeah, for sure. It's so important. And what's amazing is that it really inspires students to better themselves and come out of their shells, because I have seen a lot of students who have not performed well in the traditional system, but with these new initiatives coming up, they're really coming out of their shells. I've seen students who, maybe gotten D's and C's in their schools. Now they're in the Forbes 30 under 30 list, just because they've gotten this opportunity to explore their passion and bring it to life through these initiatives. So it's really great, honestly. And kudos to a city like Dubai to help us come up with things like this.
It's a strange one, isn't it? It does throw into question this whole our sort of traditional understanding of schooling. I grew up in a schooling system where, you went to school and then you had to go to university, and then once you've done university, you weren't going to get paid for a couple of years, so you had to get experience and etc. And you weren't even listened to, first couple of years in your job. You were basically there to keep quiet, listen and see how things are done. Yeah. But companies can't afford to do that these days, can they? You've got to be able to tap into the young talent, as we've heard a little earlier on.
Absolutely. I think corporates are missing a trick by not speaking to the young talent, because we are very stuck. We don't know what we don't know. And what I love about entrepreneurship at a young age is they really can see the unimaginable and the unseen. They have a different way of thinking about things, they've had different experiences, and they really do open us up. So,
I think it's about what you consume as well, right? As a Gen Zer, and no matter what generation you're in, to be honest, what you're watching and consuming on social media, who you're following. Are you following your entrepreneurs, the ones that are really, really motivating you to become something and think bigger than you actually are? Or are you consuming the TikTok dances, which is also fine, but it's streamlining your vision and where you want to go with it. How useful has social media been in this whole process?
Oh, definitely. I think it's helped a lot of these, especially in the field that we are in. A lot of young creators have been able to come up and monetize, the creator economy just because of that. And like you said, it really depends on what they're consuming. And there's a lot of inspirational and good content out there. Examples of young creators on TikTok, on YouTube, who've been able to come up with a simple idea, and because of platforms like TikTok, blow up and have a full-fledged business right after. So it's really interesting. It's really nice to see that, because of that, a lot more young people are being inspired to take that action and then go forward with their idea. And even if it doesn't work out, at least they learn something from it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So question for you, Vishal. I know Dubai is such a melting pot, the UAE in general. We have so many different nationalities, cultures, religions. Do you think that plays a part in the innovation that, you know, is in the heart of Dubai?
For sure. When you bring people with different perspectives and different minds together, that's when innovation really happens, right? And I think right from a young age, this place has always encouraged you to think differently and innovate completely. And if you think about every sector that Dubai is in, they always want to be number one in everything, which is a really inspiring mentality to have. And I think that rubs off on all the residents and people that live here. But especially when you meet people from different cultures, different perspectives, different countries, you learn so much from them. And you realize the world is actually so big and there's so much to do, which is great.
What I worry about the word entrepreneur is I feel like it's become...
I always
how to spell it, A. But B is the kind of meaning of it. I feel like it's become a buzzword now. It's become how to become a celebrity entrepreneur. So entrepreneurship is really tough, though, and that's what I want Gen Zers to understand as well, because I've just started my entrepreneurship journey at the age of 32 and I'm struggling. So it's hard. It's tough, Vishal. Share that part with us.
Oh, yeah,
persevere.
Yes, thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard journey. It's not for everybody. And I think what people miss out on is seeing that side of entrepreneurship, which is scary. You're taking a lot of risk. There's inherent risk in starting something of your own. Once you start having employees, there's a lot of people depending upon you as well with, you know, for their salaries, for their livelihoods. And it's really about having thick skin. You know, a lot of people don't see that, the long hours, sacrificing a lot of things, especially weekends. You know, in universities, like there's been a lot of parties you miss just because you're sitting and working on your business, which and if you're passionate about it, if you're really passionate about what you're doing and the business that you're entering into, all that seems okay to do.
It won't feel like work.
Yeah, exactly.
Fascinating stuff indeed. But we are going for a quick break. And when we come back, we meet a talented young lady who's achieved so much at a young age. Plus, we're bringing a murder mystery from the Paramount Hotel to our studios. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to DXB Today. And now, still on the topic of young entrepreneurs, our next guest is, get this, the mastermind behind a community of students who are passionate about learning about artificial intelligence, AI. Please welcome to the show Maya Bridgman, who's the founder of the Dubai AI Society. Maya, thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Now, here we go. So, student at Dubai College, obviously a star student, creator, founder, inventor of the AI app for the underprivileged, and about to start at Stanford. Should we three just leave and leave these two to it? Do you think?
Honestly.
I mean, extraordinary achievements at such a young age as well. And first and foremost, congratulations getting into Stanford. You must be thoroughly looking forward to that.
I'm thrilled, really. Yeah.
Another challenge around the corner.
Yes.
Why set up the AI app? What was the inspiration behind it for you?
Right, of course. So actually the inspiration for my community as a whole started when I was just helping out some students at my school. So I started a club at my school, Dubai College, a secondary school, because some students approached me. They wanted to learn about AI. They didn't know where to start. And so I just thought one or two students would show up. I host the club, and on the first day, just students keep filing through the door. And it was actually one of the largest turnouts of a club at my school's history. So I thought there was really something here. And the one issue that I had was that I wasn't able to find actual resources and education that I could teach my students that was understandable for students as young as 11 years old who can't read PhD dissertations and understand university content. So I actually developed my own curriculum to teach these students, and since then it's really taken off. My organization is now in over 3 continents, 5 countries, and has over 1,000 members in its current cohort.
Wow.
Incredible. Yeah, honestly. And I think the thing with AI is that a lot of people the older generations are a little worried about it. And I mean, there is an inherent worry about, one side of it being taking away our jobs, the other side of it being, taking over the world. But has there been any kind of worry from the students with AI?
Oh, so that's an interesting point, because actually, so one of the main things that my curriculum focuses on, and what I aim to teach all of my students, is that it doesn't just look at the technical side, which is typically offered, but it actually focuses on specifically the applications of AI to various fields that are not really explored, especially at such a young age. So AI, as we're seeing, has incredible applications from space exploration to even things like uncovering ancient languages and restoring languages that are dying out. And students who are 11 to 18 years old, with the students who I usually teach, they have interests in these fields. They're interested in geography or astrophysics. And so seeing how AI can be applied to those is very interesting. That's where their interest lies. And what I aim to do as well is teach them about the ethics of that application and how we can best put forward society and progress as a whole.
Can you have a word with my 3 kids and explain to them?
Of course,
AI is not going to solve their homework and their exams worries, all right?
Put me in the dark.
It just might, though. It just might. But Maya, I absolutely am very passionate about digital literacy, and I love what you're doing. And I feel like digital literacy is kind of harder as you get older. I do a lot of effort in like debunking myths around AI for the older generation in the current workforce. Do you feel like at a younger age, kids are more receptive to it?
Oh, so they're very open-minded. It's actually incredible, I find, that I can teach students who are this young to really grasp these complex concepts. But if it's presented in a way which they're engaged with activities that they like doing and in a way that's just accessible for them, they really take it on and they're very wholehearted in how they engage with the content. And you talk about digital literacy, and I think another interesting point there, and something that my organization is trying to do as well, is actually close the digital divide, because not only do I teach students in Dubai, but there are a lot of students who don't have the normal access to technology that we do, who don't have teachers who are of that level as well, and who are just underprivileged. So my curriculum is also adaptable to make sure that they can catch up with other students.
I think, Maya, what's fascinating is you're still a student yourself. And Vishal, you can probably relate to this as well. You're a student yourself who started your entrepreneurship journey very, very young. How does one balance those two things?
So actually, it is a lot of work to balance all of these different aspects of my education and my own organization and my other projects as well. But I think that the drive for doing so and just being able to be so organized and allocate my time accordingly, it just comes from my passion, and that this is really what I want to do. And having an impact on a large number of students around the world is something that I'm very passionate about, and I just really think that making an impact and seeing the impact that I make continues to drive me to do so.
What's really struck me here, all of our guests have been impressed with these two extraordinarily impressive individuals. And I think one thing that really struck me, and the link between the two, is this sort of opportunity, spying an opportunity, creating a platform, and building that platform and continuing to build that platform. Something that both of you done, and something that I assume you will both continue to do. Is that right?
100%. I think that's a major focus for us at Fireflies as well. And what we're aiming to do is that we ensure that the next gen of creators continue to have the opportunities that we did. We continue to inspire people in schools and universities to take a hold of their passion and bring it to life. And I think what really helps with that is the students are equally excited to be a part of that journey. So it's going to be great to see what else they come up with.
That's always been the big difference. Because I remember when I was at school, and if someone had a great idea, they keep it to themselves. Keep it secret. Whereas now there seems to be a real sharing ethos.
Yes, well, I think part of what makes the students here as well, specifically in Dubai, have a really entrepreneurial mindset and very open to sharing, I find, is actually just the atmosphere and the environment in which we're brought up in, and how we go to school. The Dubai AI Society has been partnering with the Ministry of AI, and I've been working alongside His Excellency Al-Alama, and they're just so supportive of really emphasizing education and AI being taught to students. They didn't doubt me for a second. They didn't think this is crazy. Why are you trying to teach this concept to an 11-year-old? They go all in, and I think that's reflected in how the students learn.
So Maya, before we say goodbye to you, I'd love for you to just share with any young entrepreneurs listening at home just one piece of advice or the biggest lesson you've learned in your journey so far.
Of course. I think that all young entrepreneurs should know that it does seem daunting, whatever you're setting out to do. It's easy to believe that no one will agree with you, that no one will support you, but you never know what will happen unless you you try, even if it is a crazy idea, there will always be someone, if you're willing to look hard enough and try hard enough, who is there to support you.
I love that. You're incredible. Thank you so much for your
having
time.
me.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, Vishal, are you ready? We have a little quiz for you.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
it's called the DXB in 60. Don't worry, we're not going to be mean to you. I will cue the clock when you're ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, brilliant. I will cue the clock in 3, 2, 1. At what age can individuals be considered young entrepreneurs? 13 above or under 30?
Under 13.
Correct. How old is real estate entrepreneur Anastasia Denisova? 51 or 23?
23.
Yep. What is the name of the founder of the Dubai AI Society who we have as a guest today? Maya Bridgerman or Greta Gretchen?
Maya.
Great. What motivates young entrepreneurs to start their own businesses? Is it passion for their ideas or fear of failure?
Passion for the ideas.
Exactly. Mark Zuckerberg was a university student when he started Facebook. True or false?
True.
Yes. Which young entrepreneur founded the cosmetic company Kylie Cosmetics? Kylie Jenner or Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, no, Kylie.
Which AI-powered virtual assistant is known for its presence on Apple devices? Alexa or Siri? Siri. What was the young entrepreneur behind the popular social media platform Facebook? Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Perfect. Which AI application allows computers to mimic and simulate human conversation, image recognition or chatbots?
Chatbot.
Correct. Oh, time is up. Well done.
I did okay.
You got 9 right.
Oh, that's amazing.
Out of
good.
10.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Mine's
Very
good.
good.
You can guarantee that ChatGPT wouldn't have beaten that. That's for sure. AI ain't got nothing on you.
I hope so.
Good on you. Look, top of the list as well.
Ah, that's good.
There you are, Vishal. Vishal, I want to thank you so much for
Thank you.
being
Thanks for
here.
having
It's
me.
been such a pleasure. Maya, thank you once again, and
Thank
best of
so
luck to
much.
both of you in all your endeavours. Thank you so much. Now, coming up after the break, believe it or not, we're going to be solving a murder mystery. Stick around right here on DXB Today.
Welcome back to the show. I am joined by the creative director of Paramount Hotels, Nicholas. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm very well. How are you?
Great, thank you. So I hear you're going to tell us a little bit about what a murder mystery is.
Yeah, so one of our jobs at Paramount is to make sure that we provide an element of escape for our guests. Because, I mean, Paramount is known for creating content and creating films for the past 100 years, but now we're still entertaining, but in the form of luxury hospitality.
Wow.
So instead of people going to the movies, we're thinking, how do we make it work so we make people come into a movie rather than watch a movie? You're participating within a film. So the action is happening around you and you feel immersed in the action.
Oh my gosh.
And, I mean, murder mysteries is not something that we invented. We've had murder mysteries have been around for years and years and years, but we have our own unique stories and we keep renewing it every 3 months according to the season, according to the story, and we have a new murder, and then we've got music, we've got live actors that would come and talk to you and get you into the action. You've got rooms, you go into the crime scene, you start looking for clues. It's a lot of fun. It's a full-on immersive experience. You really feel like you've escaped your reality and stepped into a movie.
Amazing. So I've personally been looking for a murder mystery in Dubai forever, and I think it's definitely a new addition to the entertainment scene. But for those that don't know who are at home, tell us a little bit about what a murder mystery is and what happens exactly.
So a murder mystery is, I mean, the name says it for itself. There's a murder that happens and you got to solve it and figure it out. So you come in at 8 o'clock, you sit down, you get settled in, you have your drinks, you have your food, and then the actors come in and start giving you a little backstory on the person that was murdered and what really happened. And then you start investigating and you find out that every single one of them has a motive and every single one of them had reason to kill the person that died. So you start putting the storyline plot together and then you walk around and you go into the rooms and you try to find a little bit more clues. And then by the end of the night, you either solved it and you know the story or you're...
Incredible. And is this a collaborative experience with all the other guests as well?
Yes, so I mean, you don't have to participate. You can come and just enjoy the music. The music is really, really good. We have some of the best entertainers in Dubai, like Jay, and you'll see some of them later, Jay and Aisha and LaRuche and Eleonora, and they really bring the story to life. So you really enjoy it with the music, but the guests really get into it as well because people really want. I mean, we've always liked to play dress up as children. So when we do it and when we encourage guests, I mean, it's not mandatory, but it's highly encouraged to come dressed up. So people love a fancy dress. They come dressed up and they come and they start engaging with the actors, engaging with the artists, and really solve the crime and really get into it. Some people get into it a lot more than the actors, and they like dig into it and find clues that are not even there.
I'd so totally be that person. But thank you so much. You brought with us a little gift for us today.
Yes.
So tell us about the act.
All right, so what we have is an opening number that Jay wrote for us for the show. This opening number is actually with the full instrumental, but what we're going to do is an acoustic version because we don't have the full cast here. We've got a cast about of 7 or 8, 6 activated actors. So we've got 3 of them. We've got Larouche, Aisha, and Jay, and they're 3 of the leads of the show. So they're going to do an acoustic version of the intro of the show.
Oh, I cannot wait to see that. Nicholas, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the act. Where can people follow you?
All right, well, they can find us at ParamountHotelsDubai.com. Flashback Speakeasy is the name of the venue where we do the shows. So Flashback Speakeasy, just text us on the gram and try to get involved and we'll book you a seat. But we do book out 2 weeks in advance, so get your tables fast.
So yeah, you heard it from us. Definitely get in touch and get your table booked. Thank you so much, Nicholas. And back to Tom.
Right, it's a real case of who done it then, isn't it? Coming your way in a few moments' time. But a quick reminder, remember we are giving away a one-night stay for 2, with breakfast included, down at the amazing Palazzo Versace Hotel right here in Dubai. Couldn't be simpler. Head down to the Dubai One Instagram page, just find the competition post which is available on that page and let us know why you should be and want to be our winner.
And hopefully you will be selected. We would also love to hear from you, so make sure you use the hashtag DXB today to let us know what you enjoy about the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, thoroughly enjoyed today's episode.
Yeah.
You know, I feel so inspired by people who are half my age, probably. But I feel like entrepreneurship doesn't have an age, does it? I feel I can get out there and start something new if I wanted to. Are you
It's a
inspired,
very
Tom?
good point. A very good point. Yeah, as you say, that entrepreneurial spirit is not something that is unique to a certain age group, is it? You just have to have the courage to be able to seize it and see it through as well. The point that you made a bit earlier on, you know, that perseverance, getting over that mindset that, okay, if I'm going to set up whatever, I'm going to be able to reap the millions off the back of it straight away. It doesn't happen like that. Still got to work hard.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just so proud of Maya and Vishal, you know, for everything they've accomplished. Homegrown talent.
Yes.
Love it.
We support it here on the show, definitely. So, I mean, would you guys do anything differently if you could go back in time?
Oh, God.
I do everything differently.
Let's just save that for therapy.
Definitely, definitely. But that is it from us. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and tune in at the same time tomorrow for an exciting episode on skincare and beauty. Now, I am in suspense. Are you guys in suspense?
Yeah.
Nicholas
Ready.
has got me in suspense. Now over to you guys.
6 cats accused of murder, 9 lives, but they took 1 away. And each one's got a reason to hurt her, but as for who would do it, only time can say. Here we are, lurking in the shadows, saying bye, but we're all in the dark. There's a killer lurking in the shadows. Simone's dead and we all played a part. Now Nico said that he was hanging at a jazz bar downtown.
Yeah, but let's be honest, he's shady all around.
Here we are, lurking in the shadows, saying bye, but we're all in the dark. There's a killer lurking in the shadows. Simone's dead and we all played a part.
Francine said she was home all night.
She was.
But a witness saw her leaving, raging out of a fight.
No, it's not.
She has some perks that could be taken away, so she poisons Simone with that glass of her pain.
Here we are, lurking in the shadows, saying bye, but we're all in the dark. There's a killer lurking in the shadows. Simone's dead.
Simone's dead.
Simone's dead, and we all play that part.